Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss acatalectic lines in poetry. Introduction. In the study of poetic meter, the term acatalectic originates from the Greek word meaning not lacking a syllable in the last foot. This term is used to describe a metrical line that is complete, containing the full number of syllables expected according to its metrical pattern. In contrast, a line that lacks one or more unaccented syllables is referred to as catalectic, while a line containing an extra syllable is termed hypercatalectic, also known as hypermetrical, redundant, or extrametrical. To illustrate these concepts, consider the stanza from William Blake's Art and Artists. When Saint Joshua Reynolds died, all nature was degraded. The king dropped a tear into the queen's ear, and all the pictures faded. In this stanza, the first line is catalectic, the third line is acatalectic, and the fourth line is hypercatalectic. Let's explore these terms and their implications further. Acatalectic lines. An acatalectic line is metrically complete, adhering strictly to the established pattern of the verse. In the example from Blake, the third line, "The king dropped a tear into the queen's ear," exemplifies an acatalectic line. Each syllable is accounted for and the line maintains its rhythmic integrity. Acatalectic lines are often used to provide a sense of completeness and regularity in a poem. They help to establish a consistent rhythm, making the poem easier to read and follow. Many traditional forms, such as the iambic pentameter in Shakespearean sonnets, rely on acatalectic lines to create their distinctive musical quality. Catatelectic lines. A catatelectic line is one that is truncated, missing one or more syllables from the end. This can create a sense of abruptness and incompleteness, which poets may use to convey particular emotions or themes. In Blake's stanza, the first line, "When Saint Joshua Reynolds died," is catalectic. The line feels cut short, reflecting perhaps the abruptness of death or a sense of loss. Catalectic lines can be found in various poetic traditions. For example, in the ballad stanza, it is common to have alternating lines of iambic tetrameter and catalectic trimeter, contributing to the distinctive rhythm of the form. This alternation creates a dynamic and engaging reading experience. Hypercatalectic lines. Hypercatalectic lines contain an extra syllable extending beyond the expected metrical pattern. This can add emphasis or a feeling of overflow, often used to convey abundance or excess. In the Blake example, the fourth line, "and all his pictures faded," is hypercatalectic, containing an extra syllable that disrupts the regularity of the meter. Hypercatalectic lines are also used in various forms of poetry. In ancient Greek and Latin poetry, the addition of an extra syllable could serve to highlight important moments or to add a layer of complexity to the meter. In contemporary poetry, hypercatalectic lines can be used to break free from rigid structures, providing a more conversational or natural flow. Additional examples. To further illustrate these concepts, consider the following examples from other poets. Catalectic line. From Emily Dickinson's "Because I Could Not Stop for Death." "Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality." The first and third lines are catalectic, missing an unaccented syllable at the end, creating a sense of incompleteness that mirrors the theme of death. Acatalectic line. From William Shakespeare's Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. The lines are acatalectic, each containing 10 syllables and adhering to the iambic pentameter pattern, providing a harmonious and balanced rhythm. Hypercatalectic line. From Robert Frost's Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. This house is in the village though, he will not see me stopping here, to watch his woods fill up with snow. The second line is hypercatalectic, containing an extra syllable that adds to the conversational tone of the poem. Conclusion. Understanding the differences between catalectic, acatalectic and hypercatalectic lines is essential for appreciating the nuances of poetic meter. These variations allow poets to manipulate rhythm and create specific effects, enhancing the emotional and aesthetic impact of their work. Whether aiming for completeness, abruptness, or excess, the strategic use of these metrical variations adds depth and complexity to poetry. So this was the discussion on the term acatalectic lines in poetry. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other term. Until then, goodbye and thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary terms and literary theory. If you want to study the notes and MCQs related to this term, you can click the link given in the description. We are also going to start our online and offline classes for UGC NET for English literature very soon. So stay connected with us.